Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snigger bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never.
Coach, we're just about 4 miles off the shore of Lake Erie at New Era Field in Orchard Park, New York. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He gets away from one and able to stay on his feet past. The 30 to about the 33-yard line. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Now it's Wilson. On the left side, this is Stills. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And this will hit just beyond the goal. Line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it hit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, it's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They go play action here on first down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Charles Harris in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And out come the Dolphins now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run here with Balaj, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 and the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he finds Stills, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Here's Allen to throw it. Forced out to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Allen. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Gets around him. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Star Lotulelei in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Charles Harris in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Bills on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
He leaves this one for Howard. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Play action. Now it's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Wilson to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. On the handoff, this is Howard. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. Looks to throw on 2nd down. And Josh Hill has it. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Steps away to his left. His throw caught around the 6. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
He's going to get it running right. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Jordan Howard in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills are in for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And likely just out of field goal range. Could be Hail Mary time.
And haven't we seen in recent years that the Hail Mary seems to be more successful in the NFL than before?
Absolutely we have. Flush to his right. And he'll get it down here to the 43. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They go with Howard again. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They'll try and run it here. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before you can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Allen off the play fake. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. On first, they go right back to Howard. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Escaping the pressure right. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Bills on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To the air, Allen. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On play action, Allen. And this one is incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, it's Howard. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen underneath here to Hill. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down. Back now in Buffalo. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the gun, Allen. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Allen. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Lucky 56.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. It's a foot race. The 30. And he cuts it back right, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. So So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun, Allen. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Oh, no, he lost the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now out come the Bills. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Back to throw. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And now it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. On target over the middle to Hill. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
He's going to let it, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And two big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. He's back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football. And
they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Now Balaj. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never do but I got something to do with it. I got this grease on my back. Carry it like I'm moving them. I told him to keep 100. It was like 11 in the morning. Skip to school, that's what ruins it, buddy. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me some breakfast by the morning. I had a 6